Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. That's right, your girl looks a little bit more put together, got my hair trimmed up. My girl Ashley took care of me, so I'm here with you now. And this is going to be about the second journal. The second and third journal, basically I like to keep them together, but I want to break this down into individual videos so you can understand it, right? So I'm going to show you my negative journal. My negative journal is very much a 5-subject notebook. Yes, this is all, it's not for any specific reason. It's just they were on sale. Like I like to get a big one, 3-ring binder or whatever. My negative journals gets filled up very quickly and I want to be able to burn them, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. But the negative journal and the data dump journal, the data dump journal is a little bit smaller because I keep it by the bed, but my negative journal can be about absolutely anything. And the negative journal is a stream of consciousness. So I want to talk to you about that. And like I was saying in yesterday's video, and if you're starting with this video, go back to the one yesterday and then move forward, because these are the ways that I do them, because your gratitude journal is how you start your day. Negative journal is going to come just about any time. Different than your data dump. I'll explain when we get there, but right now we're talking about the negative journal. In your brain, especially if you have been hardwired to be negative, a lot of us have been hardwired, it's all about changing that default. You don't get to say, this is just how I am. That's, if you're saying that, you need to book a session with me, like hey, stop this video and make an appointment with me ASAP. Because if you fall into that, this is just how I am. Don't worry about other people. Other people are going to be other people. But don't you go into, this is how I've been all my life, or that's just how I am. That's not so. Like, that's not a thing. So when you're talking about your negative journal, you're going to have negative thoughts. This helps a lot with your obsessive thinking. You know, that where you get on those loops, or if you find yourself getting into a negative space. Now, I will be honest, now these, because I get such a big journal and I have them in different places, they're nowhere near filling up as fast as they used to. You're a human being, not a robot. So you will have certain things that you feel negative about, or you get your feelings hurt, and feelings are not facts. They are just your perceptions. And and as an adult, no one's hurting your feelings. They are creating actions and words. You are taking it and saying, this hurts my feelings. So let's get clear there. So what exactly do you do with the negative journal? I was looking for my pen, but it's sitting right over there and I don't feel like getting it right now. So like I was saying to you before, if you have an upstairs in your home, yes, it's different than the data dump journal, but I like to keep one upstairs and downstairs, because your negative journal is where you're going to process things. Your data dump journal is before you go to bed. And again, we'll get to that on Thursday or on the 4th video, whenever you're watching this. So the negative journal is where you're going to start really processing your stuff, processing your feelings. Much like the gratitude journal, don't just journal it and be like, it's whatever. It's a stream of consciousness. It can pick up in the middle of a thought. Like literally, I have, and that, and my, sorry, I was trying to read my own writing, because sometimes, you know, if you get angry, sometimes it says, and that person's lack of patience frustrated me. Oh, okay, I know what this was. I was like, because you don't go back to read your negative journals. There's no reason to go back to rehash them, right? I feel like people go back to them. Why? You don't do that. This is just a place to process. Think of it as like a big playground for your brain to get all the negative stuff out. And I know what this was. People's entitlement can be very frustrating to me. Meaning if you go, and I know what this was now, meaning if you go to Dunkin' Donuts and you're annoyed that the person in front of you is taking so long, that's a you problem. You're not entitled. Listen, if you don't want to do that, then you probably shouldn't go to Dunkin' Donuts. People aren't on your time. People aren't going to revolve around you. So I realize, and I have realized, that people's lack of patience in the past has been a trigger for me. I don't take it on, I don't adopt it, I don't bring it home. But this was when, sometimes I'll take this in the car with me too. So that's what that was about. So now let's say you're going through something a lot more in depth than just that, right? So like, I'm going to try to give you a real-time thing. Like, you know, I have different little tabs, but again, it doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, you're going to need a really big negative journal that's going to get filled up really fast versus your positive journal. Not to be confused with your gratitude journal. That's tomorrow. I'll talk to you about it in a minute. So if you're processing, like when I went back through processing all of the inappropriate behavior with my dad and stuff, because I don't hold any ill will towards that, it's allowing myself to literally process it. So I won't go into that one because that one's like been burned a long time ago. But when you're processing something that you are trying to feel, maybe you feel lack of love from the husband, maybe you feel lack of appreciation or whatever it is, you want to write that down like, hey, I don't feel appreciated. You're not going to change people. This is not to process it because you're annoyed people won't change. This is to process why you are annoyed that people don't change and accepting the fact that it's not their job to do, right? So keep that in mind. It's not just a vent session, though it is good to have. That's typically what your data dump journal is for. This is to say, I feel lonely. Okay, let's just bring that up. I feel lonely. Now, I haven't had those in forever because I'm pretty good with my self-love. When you have your self-love, you're not going to feel those lonely feelings. And if you do, they're very short-lived. But when you are focusing on the frustration, you have to ask yourself, why are you frustrated? You're not going to blame other people. Okay, if my husband would only do this, or if my coworker would only do this, I would feel better. No. Why does it bother you? Well, because I wouldn't do it that way. Okay, well, why do you think everybody should do it your way? Well, I just feel like that. Okay, this isn't what I'm writing. I'm just giving you an example. I feel like people should do it differently. Why? Because it's the right way. No, it isn't. Why do you feel like it's the right way? See, this is for you to process. This is your negative feelings. It's not to judge it. It's not to be like, well, I don't know why I feel that way. Right, that's why you're here. Why do you feel that way? Good, that's what this negative journal is. I feel negative when people vote differently. I feel stressed when I watch something on the news. I feel annoyed or scared when I see something on the news that's global that makes me uncomfortable. Okay, why? Because it's out of your control. All of this is going to go back to your ego. So you can go back to your ego death series that I did, 5 episodes here on TikTok, on YouTube. So when you are in there, you're to process your feelings. You can vent it, and it's a stream of consciousness. Literally, I have like 3 pages where they don't even make sense because I just ran them all together from different days. And again, it's nowhere near as big as it was. But if something annoys me, I just remember it's not them. See, you get triggered by other people's actions. That's a you issue. That is a you issue. So you want to process it here. Why am I triggered? Because I don't like what they said to me. Okay, well, if you don't like what they said to you, why are you dealing with them? Well, I don't understand why they just can't do something different. Because they don't have to. See, this is going to be a big come to Jesus meeting with yourself here. And this is where you process your feelings. Anything you say or write down is valid to you. And then you're going to start to see patterns. You're not going back to read this. Do not go back to read your negative journal. This isn't a research thing. It's just something to be able to start processing it so you can write it down so you can start opening up things. Okay? When you're done this journal, and this journal could be 5 minutes, 5 days or 5 years. It's not going to be 5 years. You'll go through many in 5 years if you're doing this daily. And yes, you are going to do this daily. I don't care that you don't feel like it. No one cares how you feel because you're trying to process that in your head and this is an inconvenience for you. Journal why that's an inconvenience for you. I don't feel like doing it. Well, why are you waiting to feel like doing it? Ask yourself those questions. See, this is a big come to Jesus meeting with self. This is a big introspective thing. So because I like to have them in different places, because if something goes down with my husband or the cats, or I don't really get triggered by public stuff anymore because it's just not my stuff to carry. It's just not. So, but I used to. And then when you get it full, you don't read it. You wait till the new moon or the full moon. I have a moon calculator. I'll put that up there. It's not like my moon calculator. It's just, you can find it on anything, honestly. And so on a new moon or full moon, when it's full, you take it out and you burn it because the universe transmutates negativity into positivity. Okay, so, but that's what your negative journal is for. Do not be surprised if your entire day is journaling. Like seriously, if you're at work and you have a desk, keep it on your desk. If Becky from finance annoys you, don't just write down Becky from finance is annoying me. Yes, start there, but much like the gratitude journal, this isn't just a list for you to just dump things. That's not how you process it. And you don't put this in with anything else. This is strictly your negative journal. Strictly your negative journal. Okay? And like I said, I'll get binders. I literally have this is a 5-star subject notebook. And it's not, I have like a few things already in here. And there's some days where, and this isn't one day, this is several days, right? So like, I'll write different things or I'll put little pictures and I'll say, okay, now let me process why I'm feeling that way. Right? Because you want to start getting into your why. Why does Becky in finance bother you? Well, because she doesn't do her job and now you feel like you're doing a job. Okay, so now you have to ask yourself, why are you taking this on? Well, because if I don't take it on, then I'm not going to have a job. Okay, why is that stressing you out? Well, because if I don't have a job, I can't pay things. So you're allowing Becky from finance to be a trigger for your insecurity about holding on to a job that you don't really want because of the fear of the finance. Well, once you have a fear of finance, you're going to create that in the universe. So now you have to say, well, why are you staying? Well, because I need the job. That is not the only job on the planet. Well, yeah, but I've been there for 10 years, So now we re-strategize. How are we going to rectify this? You can't change Becky in finance, but you can change the job. But you got to work through that on here. Do you see what I'm saying? So much like the gratitude journal, when you're negative dumping, yes, dump and say, I'm annoyed with my husband. I'm annoyed with Becky. I'm annoyed with these things. But now ask why. Well, because I don't like what they're doing. Stop putting this on other people. Stop it. That can trigger you, but it's not other people. It's something inside of you. When you realize not everybody is you, they don't have to act like you do, they cannot change, nor should they change for you. So when you get clear in that, now you have a plan of action, because now everything doesn't look so overwhelming. Now we're into micro-goaling. Now we're with those micro-goals. Now the micro-goals are going to say, okay, well, Becky from finance, clearly it's just too much for me. I'm just tired of it. I feel like I'm being run over. Okay, nobody at work needs to change this. No one. But you can change your job. What do I need to do? Well, you probably need to brush up on your resume, start sending out resumes. You don't want to quit your job unless it's absolutely toxic, like so bad, before you have another job. But knowing that you're working on the exit strategy makes dealing with Becky in finance just that much more tolerable. But these are things that are in your control. Stop giving everybody power over you. So that is the spiel. There's nothing on this page right here because it's all back here. But that's the spiel on the negative journal. So we'll talk about the positive journal tomorrow.